Hey everyone, Merry Christmas! Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tim. I am the host of the Glass
Merry
House.
Christmas and a Happy New Year. Feel free to ask me what's happening at the North Pole, if you're curious.
Thanks, Google. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tim. I am the host of the Glass House News podcast, a radio show. If you're coming back and returning, welcome back. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to get into a little bit of a cultural issue, which I've tried to avoid, but I'm coming to see that I can no longer be silent on this issue, and that is sexual differences between men and women. I've tried to avoid this because I know it is a very touchy subject in today's culture, more so than racial relations and the rioting and the looting going on this year. But before we get into the news, I want to ask that you please go hit that like channel on this video, minimize this video, go to my homepage and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to be part of helping my channel grow, if you want to be part of the important work that I am doing, combating the fake news narratives floating around the social media sphere, please subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and then share this video with all of your friends. This is important. And if everyone who watched this video shared it one time, I would be the biggest YouTube channel by the end of the year. All right, on to the news. So we start today with this Daily Caller article. Sarah Fuller named the SEC Special Teams Player of the Week after kicking the ball 30 yards. Vanderbilt kicker Sarah Fuller has received a huge honor from the SEC following her one kick against Missouri to open the second half. The SEC named her Special Teams Player of the Week along with Florida's Kadarius Toney. The SEC wrote, she took the opening kickoff of the second half against the Tigers as her perfectly executed kick sailed 30 yards and was downed at the Missouri 35-yard line. This circus needs to end, this article says. It's one thing to talk about how cool it is for Fuller to be the first woman to ever play in a Power 5 game, but let's stop with this nonsense. She kicked the ball 30 yards, and Vanderbilt lost 41-0. And she had literally no impact on the game. At some point, we have to wake up and face reality. At some point, we have to admit that we're honestly insulting female athletes by pretending what Fuller did was spectacular. There are some unreal female athletes out there, and nobody really talks about them, yet Fuller kicks the ball 30 yards, and she's headed straight to the Hall of Fame. The craziest part about this situation is that Fuller addressed the team at halftime and criticized their attitude. Imagine your kicker, who is being used for nothing more than a PR stunt, getting up and ripping the team. Players should have refused to take the field for Derek Mason, who was fired Sunday in the second half. If you don't understand the absurdity of this entire situation, then you're just not living in reality. Fact check true. This is absurd. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching this, if you're a parent or you are involved in your community, if you are involved in the lives of young children, stop telling them that boys and girls are the same. Stop telling our young girls you can do anything a man can do, because that's just not true. That's not me saying this. This is statistical data. I have evidence. I have the receipts to show the work I've done for this. Ladies and gentlemen, men and women are not the same. It is time that we stop pretending otherwise, because otherwise, what's the point in having two obviously different genders? Feminists will on one hand claim men and women are the same, and then on the other hand claim we need a first female president. Well, if men and women are the same, why? If men and women are interchangeable, what's the point in having two genders? This third wave feminism that we are seeing crop up in today's culture is, shall we say, disgusting. Because it is eliminating the differences, or it's trying to erase the line between men and women, meanwhile preaching it is still important to have diversity and that women are better. You cannot have both. You cannot say red is better than blue and then turn around and say there's no such thing as color. Color is a social construct. You just can't have it both ways. Men and women are different. And to prove this, let's look at some data. Nobody would ever suggest that having a groin, well, I'll just say it. No one would ever suggest that having a penis renders men less competitive with women in athletics. Yet there is no sport in which having one's genitalia on the outside is an advantage. Perhaps this sounds absurd, but is it really any more ridiculous than suggesting women's anatomy makes them incapable of competing alongside men in sports? No, it's not crazy, because it's true. Men have 40 to 60% more upper body muscle mass and strength than women. And they have 20 to 30% more lower body muscle mass and strength than the average woman. So yes, they are different. And no, it's not crazy to say so. Follow the science. Follow the science has become a cudgel of a statement to be used by the left against the right. Meanwhile, they're the ones not following the science at all. They will say men and women are the same. They will say life doesn't begin until after birth, which is absurd. Life begins at conception. And then meanwhile, they'll say the climate change is the greatest threat our planet has ever faced, completely disregarding the science. So the side that claims they are following the science, and the side that says follow the science the most often, ironically, is the side that's not following the science in virtually any issue. Again, we'll go through them. Gender, abortion, and climate science. They're not following the science, and they're telling you and I to follow the science. At some point, when do we stand up and say enough is enough? Stop gaslighting the American people. Stop telling us, follow the science, while we are following the science and you are not. It's ridiculous. Men and women are different, and they serve different roles. If you're still not sold on this idea that men and women are different, check this out. The average score of a WNBA, Women's National Basketball Association game, is between 84 and 88, 89. That's the average score, 84 to 89. Meanwhile, the average men's NBA, the average score, 112 points. Over 30 points more. Because men are better at sports than women. This is why the WNBA players aren't paid as much as NBA players. Because not as many people want to watch WNBA because it's not as competitive. Most men's college teams score better than 88 points per game. Most men's college teams could beat most women's National Basketball Association's teams. Again, the score is 87 to 112. It's not even close. Men and women are different. If you're still not with me on this, let's look at Serena Williams, arguably the greatest female tennis player of all time. Her average swing speed is 106 miles per hour. Her fastest swing speed is 128 miles per hour. Hi, Doozer. How's it going? 128 miles per hour. Come here. Meanwhile, the average college male swing speed is 120 miles an hour. So Serena Williams, at her fastest swing speed, barely breaks the college average. And as we've seen, you can go upwards of 20 miles per hour more. So, are you with me now? Now will you agree that men and women are different when it comes to sports? It's true. And we see in places like Norway and Denmark, places that try to incorporate more equality of outcome laws and programs. Dude, you're so cute. We see that the more programs they incorporate, the less equal the society becomes. Less women go into the workplace. More women stay home to take care of the children. So why would we in America try to pretend that men and women are the same? It doesn't make any sense, because they're not. This Pew Research Center, Americans see gender differences, but are split on whether they are based in biology or societal expectations. That's a little interesting. So, percent saying men and women are basically the same or different when it comes to each item. How they express their feelings. Only 13% of respondents said they are the same. 87% said they are different. And guess what? How does this split biologically versus society? About 50-50. Their physical abilities. 23% say they're the same, which is wild. And about 76% say they're different. And how much of that is biological? 78% say this is biological, opposed to 21% which say it is societal. What about their hobbies and personal traits and personal interests? 32% say they are similar, and 68% say they are different. And how does that split? Society versus biological? Again, about 50-50. Their approach to parenting. 35% say they're the same, 64% say they're different. How does it split? Biology versus society? About 50-50. And what about the things they are good at in the workplace versus different in the workplace? 63% say men and women are about the same in the workplace. There's about a 63% overlap, whereas there's 37% difference. And what about, how does that split in biology versus society? Once again, 50-50. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope I have definitively proved that men and women are different simply by spending about 10 minutes on Google. It's not hard. So this idea that men and women are in fact the same is absolute nonsense. It's horse crap. Pardon my language. We need to do away with this idea that men and women are the same. Because men and women are different. They were created differently for a reason. They have different purposes. Generally, women are better at parenting than men in terms of raising the children and keeping up with the day-to-day needs of the children. Generally speaking, there is some overlap there. There are men that are better equipped to parent than women. I'm not saying that all women are better than parenting than men. I'm saying on average, women are better at parenting than men. On average, men are better equipped to lift heavy things and do things like work on the car. Now, I say this on average because I have met women who are better at working on cars than I am. However, not many of them could lift a transmission as well as easy as I can. Because men and women are different. They were created to do different things. The fact that men and women have different bone structures should be pretty obvious that they are different. Women can give birth, men cannot. We have different sexual organs. We are different. And I keep hammering this home because it is now a cultural issue that the left is saying, if you disagree with this, if you disagree with us on this, you are a bigot, you are a homophobe, you are a transphobe. I'm sorry. When did saying that men and women are different and these differences should be celebrated, when did it become homophobic or transphobic to say that women should be celebrated for their differences? Because that is the entire movement of feminism. That is what feminism was founded on. Was celebrate women for their differences. Stop ignoring them. Stop casting them to the side and limiting them to what society has deemed they can do. I agree. Don't limit women to what society tells them they can do. But the solution to this problem is not tell them you can do whatever a man can do, because this undercuts what makes them special. Our society has become so caught up in telling women you can do whatever a man can do that we've lost this diversity of telling women, the beauty of telling women, do what men can't do. And this is starting to work in reverse as well. As we talked about a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week, Harry Styles dressed up as a girl. It was weird. Don't go look up the images. It's a little bit disturbing. We've now flipped and said, men, you can do anything a woman can do. We've lost the beauty of telling men, you can do things that women can't do. And women, you can do things that men can't. This is what makes our society function. This is what makes our species function. Our beauty, our strength, our integrity comes from our diversity. And in blurring the lines between men and women eliminates that diversity. The line needs to be strengthened, not weakened. Thanks for watching. I will be back here tomorrow. Like I said at the beginning of this video, please, this information is important. Share this with your friends. Get this out. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a Merry Christmas.